Good afternoon, Democrats, and welcome to the Chair's Daily Live Update. As you can see, our Chair, Alicia Andrews, is not with us today. She had a death in her family, and so I'm always happy to spend some time with you during the week, and she will be back here tomorrow. So today is the 12th day of January 2023, and it's Thursday, and I don't know about you, but it's already been a full week. But beyond that, the fact that we are almost halfway through this month is pretty incredible. Alicia's been talking an awful lot about how this is our big party rebuilding year. And to think that we're already halfway through the first month is pretty incredible. So we still have a lot of work to do, but I'm thrilled with the number of county parties who have been reaching out to us, wanting guest speakers, looking for advice and help with what they're doing, because that's the way we build our party. Is we build our party from the bottom up. This is not a top-down organization, and we believe that the more people are involved, the better off it is, not just for the party, but actually for everyone who lives in Oklahoma. One of the things that Alicia began the year by saying is we have to be vigilant. This is our year to fight. And I'll tell you something, it's going to be hard these next few weeks trying to stay on top of everything that's going on with the legislature this session. If you missed yesterday's episode of the Chair's Daily Live, I really encourage you to take a look back at it, because it was a terrific panel discussion with two educators who know their stuff. Mary Boren and Representative Jacob Rosecrans did a tremendous job of helping us understand what's really happening to education in Oklahoma, and I hope that you will take a look at that. But one of the first things I read this morning was that the much troubled testing lab that was moved from Oklahoma City to Stillwater a few years ago, and as a result was privatized, they have been in all kinds of trouble. They have received notices from the federal government, complaints about mixed up lab results or things that were never tested. So now the state has announced that, okay, we're bringing it back into the State Department of Health, which frankly is where it should have been all along. See, this is what happens when we privatize too much of state government, because so often people operate without real, true oversight. We all know what happened with the Swadley scandal and all that went into that. Class Wallet and Ryan Walters' approach to spending so much money on things that had zero to do with education. That's because these private companies have been pretty much left to their own devices. And I'm bringing this up about the testing center in Stillwater because this is endemic to the kinds of things that we can look forward to with more privatization in our state. I give much, much credit to the women and men who work for the state of Oklahoma and do a good job every day. In our building here and across the street, there are a number of offices for the Department of Corrections. And I see these people working so hard for the people of Oklahoma to keep things moving forward. And I could say the same thing about just about every other state agency. Why is the constant talk about privatization? Well, you and I both know that when there's money to be made somewhere, it will be made, and not necessarily by the state of Oklahoma, and most importantly, not necessarily to benefit Oklahomans. That's why the whole notion of school vouchers and the privatization of public education, it cannot have a good end result. Too often we see people just come in, they take a big chunk of money, don't do the work that they're required to do, and get off scot-free. I can only hope that our new Attorney General will be very proactive in rooting out this kind of corruption in our state. Because frankly, we can talk about this great rainy day fund we have, or the savings account that we have. To be honest with you, most of that money was given to the state by the Biden administration through COVID relief funds. That's the reality. So why has it not been reinvested into Oklahoma? Well, our governor would rather crow about his prowess as a money saver than about investing in children, elders, in mental health, in reforming our criminal justice system. All those things take money, but I promise you, that's an investment that will pay off for a long time to come. And so, my concern, and I know it's a concern of many folks here in Oklahoma, is that the more we push for privatization of anything, the greater it opens us up to more corruption, more scandals, more backroom deals, and more cronyism. Okay, that's enough about that. When I said we're in for a really rough few weeks trying to discern what's happening in our state legislature this year, the number of bills is expected to be somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 bills. Of course, with a short legislative session, many of those will never see the light of day. But some of them sadly will. And some of the things that I've seen already are just nutty proposals, things that I find it hard to believe. One senator yesterday said, "We follow the science in this state." Well, he was talking about non-binary and transgender people and how they don't exist. But I had to laugh when he said, "We follow the science in this state." We sure didn't when it came to encouraging people to be vaccinated for COVID. We haven't followed through with the science on flu vaccinations or with masking. Instead of just opening the state or keeping the state open, as we continue to hear, one thing we haven't heard is that if we followed the science, many of the 16,000 Oklahomans who lost their lives to COVID may very well still be with us today. So these are the kinds of things I'm going to encourage you to watch out for. And we have a very small staff at the Oklahoma Democratic Party, and we do our best to stay on top of things. But chances are that you will hear things from your legislators that we will not get for maybe a week. And you will probably hear about it sooner because it will be in your local media, or you'll get a mailing from your legislator or something to that effect. So I'm going to encourage all of you to call us in the office if you have heard of proposed bills that you're not in favor of, because we can help to galvanize other Democrats to make phone calls, to send emails, to write postcards to legislators to stop some of this unnecessary legislation. So like I said, we've got a lot to pay attention to this year. And most importantly, this is our year, my friends, to make our voices heard. It's no longer time for us to be silent. We can't afford to be silent even one day. Coming up in the next few weeks, there are local municipal elections all around the state. And that's where we need to be involved. Our candidates need your support, and we need you to know who you're voting for. So find out who in your city, who in your town is running for any elected position. It doesn't matter if it's school board or town council, a county position, whatever it may be. Get to know these people, find out what they believe, and listen to what they're promising you. If they're promising you pie in the sky, chances are that's exactly what it is. So please be discerning and share what you find with us right here. You can call us anytime in the Oklahoma Democratic Party headquarters, even after hours, and leave a message, and we will pay attention to all of your calls. So just a reminder that this is the year of our state reorganization convention that will happen the first weekend in June. Before that, though, coming up in March, we have precinct elections followed by county elections and then CD elections, our congressional district elections. These are all important ways for you to be involved with your party. And finally, this is something I don't do nearly often enough. This is a tough year for us financially. Usually, November and December are very strong months for fundraising, which puts us in a good position for the first quarter of the next year. Well, our contributions were way down in December. And I know that people are stretched really thin, and many of you contributed to individual campaigns. But I hope that you will consider making a monthly gift in truly any amount, because monthly gifts help us to budget properly. If we know that you're gifting the party with $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever the amount may be, that helps us budget and know what funds we have coming in and how best to spend those funds. Well, friends, thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. Like I said, it's always my pleasure to be with you. I want to invite you to join me on Monday night for the Hamilton Report. While Monday is a holiday, Martin Luther King's birthday, and there are parades all over the state, lots going on. I know many people are off that day. But we will be here for the Hamilton Report, and my special guest will be Reverend Dr. Senator George Young. And he and I are going to be talking about whether or not Dr. King's dream is still within our grasp. I hope you'll tune in Monday evening at 6:30. But first, be sure and join Alicia Andrews tomorrow at 4:15, when she will be back right here in her seat, her rightful seat, for the Chairs Daily Live. Thanks so much for being with me. Have a great evening, and Alicia will see you tomorrow.